Why couldn't the polar bear get along with the penguin?
I don't know why.
They were polar opposites.
It's time for the Children's Hour broadcasting live from studios of KUM in Albuquerque, Mexico.
Mamá me dijo que nací sonriendo y que desde niña una luz yo tengo. Mi mamá me dijo que nací sonriendo y que desde niña una luz yo tengo. Y por eso sé que aunque sople el viento en mi corazón, mamá me dijo que nací temprano, por eso me gusta cuando canta el gallo. Mi mamá me dijo que nací temprano, por eso me gusta cuando canta el gallo. Y por eso sé que cuando amanece este corazón siempre lo agradece. Con sus sonrisas nos llenan de amor. ¡Alegría! Mi mamá me dijo que la vida es bella y que con mi canto siempre dejé huella. Mi mamá me dijo que la vida es bella y que con mi canto siempre dejé huella. Y por eso sé que por el camino a mi corazón encontré un destino. Alegría es lo que yo siento. Alegría es lo que yo tengo. Alegría es lo que yo siento. Alegría para cantarle al viento.
Alegría. I'm feeling pretty happy, and I hope you are too. That's Sonia from a brand new release. Alegría is the name of the CD. This is the Children's Hour, and I'm Katie Stone, and I am like, you will not believe how many people are in the studio. Hello, everyone.
Hi! Yay, this week we finally made it sound like it, whereas all the other weeks we were like, hi.
Hi. Hi. It is a great day to be alive. And on the Children's Hour, we have, I can't even count how many, a lot of kids in the studio. And let's start over here and say hello to everyone. Yeah.
Hi, this is Siobhan.
Hi, this is Elliot. Hello, it's Haley. Hello, it's Maggie.
It's Emily.
It's Ruth.
Hi, I'm Delaney.
Hi, I'm Ryan. Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, I'm D'Artagnan. Hi, I'm Kiyomi.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
And hi, I'm Bear.
Hi, it's Ava.
Oh, I love it. We didn't miss anybody, did we? Just all the parents. We'll just ignore the parents. Well, you guys, it's a great day.
We missed Invisible Billy.
Oh, wait.
No, we missed Demon Fred.
No, where's Steve and Steve? Oh, there he is. Wait, he's under the table. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Demon Steve.
Hello.
Oh,
I
man.
thought you were supposed to be in the volcano.
I'm on vacation today.
I'm so glad you came up to the show, Demon Steve, and everyone else in the studio. There's a lot to cover today on the Children's Hour. I guess we should first ask, is there any news in the studio worth reporting here to our audience? Yes? Yes, news? Yes?
I lost another tooth in English today or yesterday.
Yeah, we had English today.
Did you ever find the tooth again? Okay.
How come you keep losing teeth in language classes?
I don't know.
Your English teacher's going to start thinking this is a plot, that like you're actually like she's trying to get out of English class. Ava, yeah.
I'm learning sign language.
I know a little bit of sign language
So
too.
great.
I know how to wave.
I'm going to do applause in sign language here.
And actually, my teacher is the sign language teacher.
That is super cool. I love that you're learning sign language.
So on Thursdays, I don't have to even stand up when the bell rings. I just stay sat down. But I always forget to leave my backpack up because
Yay,
then I have to
sitting.
rehang it.
Backpacks. They're so heavy.
I don't
Honest to
have to
goodness.
carry my backpack anymore.
No.
We have lockers.
Who needs the gym when you have backpacks?
You learned it on the Children's Hour. Well, you are listening to the Children's Hour, and today on the show, we're pretty excited because we are going to be talking about exploring and kids who are exploring and how we learn differently when we wear a hat of an explorer versus just like every other day when we're not thinking of ourselves as explorers. And we're going to learn about that from Jen Chavez Miller. She's a teacher who just went on a huge exploration herself of the Arctic. And she saw things that we all would love to see, like polar bears and puffins and who knows what else. She's going to tell us all about it. But in the meantime, we thought we'd kick it off with a little of this. This is the Children's Hour.
Sun is out and the sky is blue. Mama, can I go to the park with you? And she says, just a minute. She says, just a minute. Sometimes when my mama says, just a minute, she means more than just a minute. She means more than just a minute. And the clocks go tick, 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 tock, tick, 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 tock. Sometimes I think about my baby brother when he was just a minute old and he was so small. And my grandma, you know, she is more than just a minute. She is many, 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 many minutes. And we're all just minutes. Then I kiss my mama on the cheek and I feel like I'm more than just a minute. For that minute, I'm more than just a minute. And the clocks go tick, 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 tock, tick, tick, tick. Mama, let's go. That was just a minute. That was not more than just a minute. Here we go now.
When you're tired of your toys and of your games and of the television, when you're done with chores and homework, then it's time to make a big decision. You might need a change of scenery. It might be time to go over mountains, over oceans, through dark jungles down below. On an airplane, on a railroad, on a tall ship with the tide, all you need's a little music. How's about it? What do you say we buckle up and go for a little ride? Let's go everywhere, man. Let's go everywhere, man. There's lots of fun out there, man. We got to have our share, man. Get out of your chair, man. Let's go everywhere. We'll go to Bombay, Taipei, Mandalay, Bora Bora, Deauville, Louisville, Whoville, Glockamora, Havana, Montana, Savannah, Varanasi, Bermuda, Barbuda, or Yehuda, Tallahassee, Khartoum, Rangoon, Cancun, Saskatoon, Kowloon, Cameroon, Brigadoon, to the moon. Let's go everywhere, man. Let's go everywhere, man. Lots of fun out there, man. We got to have our share, man. Get out of your chair, man. Let's go everywhere. Cairo, Shiloh, Moscow, Chichen Itza, Krakatoa, Shenandoah, Mauna Loa, Tara, Pisa, Hamburg, Frankfurt, Beantown, Monte Cristo, Cayenne, Salt Lake, Cocoa Beach, San Francisco, Saigon, Amman, Dijon, Yokohama, Tijuana, Grand Bahama. Don't forget to call your mama. Let's go everywhere, man. Let's go everywhere, man. There's lots of fun out there, man. We've got to have our share, man. Get out of your chair, man. Let's go everywhere. Xi'an, Santiago, Tasmania, Slovenia, Romania, Pago Pago, Sedona, Pamplona, Daytona, Patagonia, Winona, Bologna, Barcelona, Caledonia, Bangkok, Sliding Rock, Antioch, Tuba City, Sun City, Cloud City, Emerald City, ain't it pretty? Let's go everywhere, man. Let's go everywhere, man. There's lots of fun out there, man. We got to have our share, man. So get out of your chair, man. Let's go everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere.
Medeski, Martin, and Wood from a CD called Let's Go Everywhere, the title track. And indeed, Let's Go Everywhere. Before that, you heard More Than Just a Minute by Justin Roberts from a CD called Here and Gone in 60 Seconds. A whole lot of artists are on there, and their music is literally here and gone in just 60 seconds. And that was one of them. And I noticed that I'm always telling my kids, it'll just be a minute. It'll just be a minute. And then it's always like,
An hour later.
An hour later.
1 more minute, 60 times.
I know. So we lie when we say it's just a minute. It's usually more. Well, in the
Unless
studio.
you're talking about the microwave and it literally has only a minute left. And you're like, oh, it's only a minute until the popcorn's done.
Yeah, microwaves don't lie.
Yeah. Unless they do.
In the studio with us.
And we don't know.
Conspiracy theories.
In the studio with us is Jen Chavez Miller. You're a teacher. So a lot of your students, where are you a teacher, Jen?
Good morning. I'm so happy to be with this very energetic, very humorous group of kiddos in the studio. I am a teacher at South Valley Academy. I teach 8th graders.
Fantastic. We have some 8th graders on this crew. Well, maybe we do. I don't know.
Invisible 8th graders?
We did have 8th graders
We have
in the room.
6 invisible 8th graders.
How old is Demon Steve?
Yeah, really. Yeah, Demon Steve
Probably
is
thousands of years old.
ageless. So, Jen Chavez Miller, you're an 8th grade teacher, but really, you are an explorer. And Haley has a question for you right off the bat.
What's the difference between a tourist and an explorer?
I love that because when we head out into the world as a tourist, we often go to maybe have some experiences, but maybe to relax, maybe to take some selfies in different places, to have a good time, definitely, maybe to connect with our family. But being an explorer is about asking questions and about being perpetually curious. So going out into the world and asking, why? How does this work? What is at play? And having those questions drive where we go, what we do on our exploration, and honestly, how we kind of live our lives after we come home from our exploration.
Yeah, Ava.
What made you want to go to the Arctic?
I love that question. I think, well, first of all, there are polar bears in the Arctic, and polar bears are magnificent. But I definitely wanted to go somewhere wild and somewhere where I just wouldn't have the chance to go to normally. So I was really lucky that Lindblad Expeditions and National Geographic, they have a program called the Grosvenor Teacher Fellowship, and they select teachers from across the United States and Canada to go on these amazing expeditions to wild and remote places across the world. And the idea is, as the teacher, if I get to go see these amazing places and have these experiences where I'm seeing polar bears in the wild, or I'm seeing a pod of whales right in front of the ship, then I'm able to come back and I'm able to be with my students in my classroom and help my students imagine what it's like to be in the Arctic so that they too can be explorers.
Must have been pretty cool.
It was cool. Can I tell you the coolest part?
Ice.
The coolest part was when I jumped into the Arctic Ocean and it was 29 degrees. And honestly, I think that
Why
it
did you do
defies
that?
logic. It
Why did you-
defies logic to jump out of a non-sinking, dry, warm ship, but to have the opportunity to actually jump into the Arctic Ocean, to feel what 29-degree water feels like, to breathe in when you're not supposed to and take a little bit of water in, to taste the water,
drop
to
your
see
sandwich?
the color of the blue and green water. It was pretty extraordinary. I
no.
fortunately did not take my sandwich with me. It remained dry.
Wow, yeah.
Speaking of sandwiches, did you try any new food that you've never tried before there?
I didn't get to eat anything I hadn't tried before. But since we're in the Arctic and we're right off the ocean, and there's such an abundance of sea life, we did get to eat a lot of salmon, and that's something extraordinary. So having salmon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would never mind that.
Yum, salmon. Wow.
You must have gotten a lot of good sleep because sometimes fish can help you sleep.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. But can I tell you why I didn't get a whole lot of sleep?
Why?
Because when you're so far north, you can see here on the globe.
Yeah, it stays day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it stays day, and it's so hard to get sleep when it's bright. And
So the sun really never really went down for you?
The sun never set.
That must be such a strange phenomenon.
It was very surreal to be
What would the
outside.
time zone be there?
So they're 8 hours ahead of us. And
you were
time
in,
really,
specifically, you were in Svalbard.
I was in Svalbard, which is an archipelago, a group of islands that's north of Norway. So from Oslo, it was a 3-hour flight. So if we think about flying across the United States, we can almost cross the entire United States in 3 hours. It's that much more far north.
That's incredible. We are talking to Jen Chavez Miller. She just came back from the Arctic, from Svalbard. We have a lot of questions about exploration and kids in exploration and also the Arctic. But in the meantime,
You're listening to the Children's Hour. We'll be right back.
we're broadcasting live at childrenshour.org. You can find lots of information there, including our podcasts and how to contact us and all kinds of great stuff. But in the meantime, we're talking with Jen Chavez Miller, and she is an 8th grade teacher here in Albuquerque who just got back from Svalbard. We're talking about the Arctic, and you have lots of toys up here at the station, and you brought a globe, and you can see all these pictures at childrenshour.org where we're posting them, or on our Facebook page, and you can see that whole feed right there. But tell us more about the Arctic itself. We were talking before the break about the sun never setting and that it's cold, and you actually had the nerve to go swimming. Tell us more about what you saw.
The Arctic is an extraordinary place. So the Arctic spans this entire region at the north part of the world. So we could go to Alaska and experience the Arctic. We can go to Greenland and experience the Arctic, parts of Russia also. So when I was in Svalbard, I got to see an enormous amount of ice and an enormous amount of water because we were sailing in the Arctic Ocean. But what was extraordinary was being able to sail into a little inlet and be able to observe, for example, a polar bear walking along a shore.
Just all by himself?
All by himself,
or herself?
looking for something to eat. We watched it kind of paddling in the water a little bit, and when it ran out of shoreline, it had to cross this kind of bluff, and it just got in the water and swam around. And I know that polar bears swim, but I never imagined being able to see a polar bear in the wild actually swimming. We got to see an Arctic fox chasing some geese. One morning, we woke up to a cliff where there were maybe about 200,000 nesting birds getting ready to mate for the season. So being able to be amongst all this wildlife like walrus and seals, we saw a pod of dolphin and a pod of fin whales, being able to see a little puffin perched up on rocks. It was pretty surreal. Absolutely.
That is incredible. Wait, so what, when you're up there in Svalbard and it's really cold and you're actually crazy enough to swim in the water, and it's watery, did the people who normally do these trips tell you that this is normal for this summer? Is it always watery like that, or are things changing up there?
So on the western coast of Svalbard, it actually can be pretty warm because of the currents. However, the more north you go, there should be a lot of ice. And in the past 100 years, we've seen the ice melt at record-breaking speed. And so I have to tell you, kiddos, that there was this one night when we were still in the middle of dinner, and our expedition leader got on the intercom and announced that we had hit 82 degrees latitude. and that we were going to not go any further north. And so we should head out onto the deck to take some pictures. And we were so excited because the captain later told us the ship that we were on had never been that far north. So there we are on the deck, giddy and celebrating because we were somewhere where most people never get to be. We were over ocean that was 6,000 feet deep, and we were far away from land. And in that moment, being so high north, somewhere where we never could imagine we would be, we also realized that we were in a place we shouldn't have been, because there should have been such thick ice there that even the icebreaker ship I was on, we just wouldn't have crashed through it because that would be polar bear habitat. So being there, it was definitely a moment of celebration and mourning. Amazing. And also the realization of this is kind of sad. The conditions are so that we shouldn't be in this beautiful space at this time.
Oh. Why does it matter if the Arctic is melting? I mean, it's sad. But what difference? I mean, we're here in New Mexico and people are listening all over the world. And it's not like anyone is seeing this happening except for the very few lucky people who go to the North Pole. So why does this matter, Jen?
Especially here in New Mexico, right? We don't get to see these kinds of conditions ever, and we're so far from it. But the Arctic is a global influence. So the ice that is in the poles in the Arctic and Antarctica, but particularly the Arctic, it reflects the sunlight. And so it acts as this big mirror. So when sun shines down from space onto the Earth, a lot of that sunlight and a lot of that heat bounces back into space. And so as we are experiencing some global warming, our Earth has heat up 1 degree in the past 100 years, which sounds like something small, but it's significant. And this ice is melting. So there's less ice to have reflecting the light back into space. So that heat from the sun is making the waters in the Arctic warmer, and that is affecting our entire global climate.
So if you think about it, it's like imagining, I'm listening to you talk and I'm thinking about our big experience of ice here in New Mexico are ice cubes. So if we stick an ice cube into water that's the temperature of almost freezing, it probably stays like an ice cube for a pretty long time. But if we stick that ice cube in slightly warmer water, maybe 50 degrees instead of 34 degrees, then that ice cube rapidly melts.
Absolutely.
And it actually melts from underneath. So that's what's happening to the ice up in the Arctic? Is it melting from underneath?
That's right. So the ice pack used to be maybe 20 feet deep, and now in some places it's 3 to 5 feet deep. And so that ice has been critical to not only global climate, but also to these beautiful animals. I have all these models here in the studio. So the reindeer and the walrus, and the polar bear, the fin whale, the blue whale, the beluga, the narwhal, seals and dolphins, Arctic fox and the puffin, they really depend on the ice for their survival.
So I guess the big question is, what can we do? I mean, we're here in New Mexico. A lot of our listeners are kids. What can kids do about the Arctic melting?
I have to tell you, as a teacher, I feel really hopeful because when I meet kids here in the studio or in my classroom or around my community, kids are really curious and kids are really wanting to make a difference. And so what I would say to all kids around the world is be explorers, be curious. Ask a lot of questions. Observe the world around you. You don't have to go on big adventures like to the Arctic. You can go on a little adventure around your neighborhood, and you can observe nature in full swing. As explorers, when you start to observe, you notice things that maybe need to be changed or things that can be improved. So explorers seek to solve problems. They collaborate with others. There's no way that we can meet the challenges of any global issue if we don't work together. And so we want to communicate. We want to tell our stories. So when you go out exploring in your neighborhood or your family goes on a camping trip and you're exploring, make sure that you're telling those stories to anyone that'll listen, because that inspires other people to be explorers too. Explorers, especially kids, and this is something that I know after teaching so long, kids really do care about the world. And so when you go into the world as an explorer, you do get to know a place, and when you get to know a place, you get to love that place. And when you get to love that place, you really want to protect it and you start advocating for it. That's a lesson I learned in the Arctic, but that applies to our home, to our block, to our community, anywhere that we love.
This summer I went camping and it was really fun, except that also, I got a little worried because we were close to a road and it was an off-leash for dogs place, and I got a little worried because my dog is really adventurous, even though she is super slow.
She's a natural explorer.
And then we took her camping, and she's like this big. She's super fat. Chubby. And so we went on this ginormous hike, like all the way up high in the mountains, because we wanted to explore. And also we didn't notice that we had passed my uncle's aspen trees because he had planted some. And Martha, my dog, she made it all the way up to where we stopped, and then we went further. And then we came back. And then she took like a 3-hour long nap.
It sounds like you were being an explorer, doesn't it? Yeah.
Can we be explorers right here?
Like,
Absolutely.
without leaving Albuquerque?
Absolutely. I think even if we went into our backyard, we can ask questions about why the worm decided to dig right there. Or I know we have lots of birds in our area, so what kind of birds are visiting our backyards or visiting the parks nearby? Being an explorer doesn't necessarily mean traveling to the far ends of the world, although I really hope you get to go to the far ends of the world. Being an explorer means being curious, being empowered where we are. And all kids, all adults even, all of us can do this. We all have it in us.
I love it. Jen Chavez Miller is an 8th grade teacher here in Albuquerque at the South Valley Academy and with us today on the Children's Hour. Thank you so much, Jen. We're posting lots and lots of pictures to our Facebook, which is Children's Hour Radio. Go to facebook.com/Children's Hour Radio, or just find it all at childrenshour.org. Jen Chavez Miller, I love it. Thank you for being with us on the Children's Hour.
Thank you so much. And everyone, explore on.
Baby
it seems it's warmer and warmer, and things have gone from strange to extreme. That's when the future began. They had an unsecret plan. They didn't want no, they ran. It was the future. Neglected, deflected, can't undo what is already done. Aware now, with know-how, with power from the wind and the sun. That's when the future began. They had an unsecret plan. They didn't walk, no, they ran. It was the future.
Listen up. I was stomping around with my giant carbon footprint, but now I got it so tiny you really gotta squint. I learned there was a lot I can do. Recycling, self-reliance, energy conservation no matter how small. I even planted a tree. Now it's 12 feet tall.
That was They Might Be Giants. You're tuned to the Children's Hour right here on KUNM, and lots of activity up here. And that's because it's pretty fun to be up here. Find out more about us at childrenshour.org. We just played They Might Be Giants from a CD called Why. And before that, Country Goes Raffy. That was Billy Gilman, and an oldie but goodie, the Baby Beluga song. And our friend Jen Chavez Miller saw belugas, among other things. Gosh, that was fun to learn more about the Arctic. We thought we'd remind everybody about how this is really just one planet, and we're all sharing it. And our friend Black Umfolsi has a song all about that. This is the Children's Hour.
There is one world, oh, one world, oh, one world. There is one world, oh, the only world. I say, there is one world, tis the one and only world, tis the one and only world. Oh, there is one world, oh, the only world. It is the one and only world. Yeah. Oh, Baba la mama, hloniphanini zonke lezi zinto zemvelo. Yeah. Hloniphanini izihlahla notshani, hloniphanini konke okutholakalayo kwemvelo. Yeah. We don't have to wait until the last fish is fished, until the last tree is fallen, for us to realize we can't live only on money. Yeah. We can recycle matter, we can recycle paper, but we can't recycle this world. Yeah. It is the one and only world. Yeah. One world. One world. One and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. We can recycle matter. One world. We can recycle paper. One world. We can't recycle this world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. Oh, future generations. One world. Oh, future generations. One world. Must know that, yeah. One world. Oh, tomorrow is born today. One world. Tomorrow comes from today. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. One and only one world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. One and only world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. We can recycle metal. One world. We can recycle paper. One world. We can't recycle this world. One world. One world. It is the one and only world. One world. Final, I'm gonna say one world.
You've been listening to the Children's Hour podcast, originally broadcast live on KUNM FM in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with our special guest, Arctic explorer and 8th grade teacher, Jen Chavez Miller. The Children's Hour is produced with a lot of help from our kids crew, engineering support from Elliot Patton, digital media dad in the studio, Gary Newell, and our executive producer and host is me, Katie Stone. We're a production of the Children's Hour Incorporated. Learn more at childrenshour.org. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your email to info@childrenshour.org. That's info@childrenshour.org.